Hello, and welcome back to the Perceptionist Playbook podcast. Woo! Welcome back, guys. This is season 2 of the Perceptionist Playbook podcast, and I'm so excited to be here recording. It's been a while. So yeah, I hope you guys are still rocking with me, and I'm excited to be back. I literally can't stop smiling because I have my very first guest ever on my podcast little show. I'm so excited to introduce her. This is Jessica. Please welcome her to the podcast. Hi, honestly, this has been a really long time coming, so I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate you literally willing to wait on me to get my life together to get you on this show. But I really wanted her on this show, guys, so I was willing to do anything. I think I even said to you at one point, like, if we need to do it virtually, then we'll do that. Just to make sure we get this done.
But that's fine, I totally understand. Sometimes life happens, life be laughing.
So it's fine. So thank you for coming, and welcome, Jessica. Woo!
Hi. Thanks for having me.
So Jessica is a UX UI designer as well. Yeah. So of course I had to start with, my people, the design community. I'm going to have a few guests on this season, so make sure you like and subscribe. A few updates. I'm no longer on Instagram. I've literally deleted all my Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that personal and business?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not coming back.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't really like the app, and I wasn't enjoying the experience. So
I find that I'm growing out of it.
Really? A lot of people say that they only watch stories.
It's getting to that point.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just I spend more time on TikTok, to be
exactly
honest.
And I felt like that was my step before deleting it. I was like, I just watch stories, and mostly it's like skipping through like a lot of stories. So if you see me watch your story, I didn't really watch it. I was just skipping through, but I had to get rid of it because I just wasn't really interested. I got rid of every social media platform except TikTok. Yeah,
even LinkedIn.
Oh no, I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Is that social media though? Would you consider that social media?
Well, the way people be using it.
Oh my days, girl.
Professional social media.
The LinkedIn influencers are scary. The things they post, I'm like, guys, this is a professional set. Like, your manager can.
Sometimes you doubt yourself. Yeah,
true.
It's crazy out there.
It's very cringy.
LinkedIn it's crazy now.
It's crazy. But yeah, I'm only on TikTok, YouTube, and TikTok and YouTube. Oh, wow. And any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms, so like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, stuff like that. So make sure you're liking, you're commenting and subscribing. Also, like I said, I'm going to have more guests this season, so let me know who you want to see on my podcast show. Let me know who I should contact, who I should reach out to, and I'll definitely reach out to them. So let's get started. First of all, hi Jessica.
Hello. Hi.
How are you today? How are you feeling? How's your week been?
It's been very busy. Very busy. I literally just moved a couple of weeks ago. So
oh wow, congratulations.
Every day, thank you. It's been DIY.
Oh wow.
So it's just been very chaotic, but it's good. Oh, no. I need time to come here today. So it's a good break from the B&Q and the IKEA trip.
Are you a DIY girly or is this new to you?
Not DIY, no.
Okay.
No, not at all. But I've trying to enjoy the process and trying to learn how to do things on my own, but it's just been very chaotic, so this is a good break for me.
That's good. That's good. Well, I'm glad that this is a break for you, and hopefully you could kick your feet up, relax, and we could just enjoy a good chit chat all about your career journey, all about your life in the tech world and before the tech world as well. So I'm excited to get into it and to delve deeper.
Sure.
So I want to give her props, guys, because she's not a small girl in the design community. Okay, she is a serious babe. Take her seriously, okay, because she's very serious in the community. Your official role title as of a month ago is Customer Experience Design Manager. Woo! First of all, congratulations.
Thank you
on your new role. because when I reached out to you initially, you were in a different role, which was lead service designer.
Yes, I was in that role for a couple of months.
Yeah. So this one is new. So I'm excited to talk about this one as well, because it's fresh and new. So you must be in the exciting stages of things as well. So
yes, and it was taking me right back to the beginning of my career where I transitioned into UX, and UX was a new world to me. And CX is just another whole ball game.
Really?
On its own, but we could get into that as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to learn more about that. So stay tuned if you're interested in customer design, customer experience design, and UX UI design and the tech world, and how you can pivot into the tech world as well. So Jessica's also a freelance designer. Are you still freelancing at the moment?
So I do pick up projects, but it's very quiet right now. So I pick up projects like as of when they come through, when I have time to do them on the side to my 9 to 5. But yeah, I do freelance under a platform called Design by Jess. So my website, you can find me at designbyjess.co.uk and Design by Jess on Instagram. Now, I actually don't know the actual profile because I don't know how many underscores are in there, but Design by Jess is somewhere there. Wherever the underscores at the end or something is there, you'll find it. So yeah, I have been freelancing for a while now. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so we'll get into her journey as well in freelancing, but if you're looking for a freelance UX UI designer, you're looking to design a new website or app, reach out to Jessica because she can help you, and make sure you go through her website, www.designsbyjess or with Jess,
designbyjess.co.uk,
designedbyjess.co.uk. So make sure you guys check her out. So yeah, we're gonna get to know you today, Jessica. I hope that's okay.
That's fine.
We're going to be getting to know your career journey, and basically out of this episode, I really want people that are watching to be able to like understand how they can basically steal your life. Okay. Your journey is really inspiring. Obviously, I'm looking from the outside in, so it's really inspiring just to see like how much you've done as a Black woman in tech as well. I am an advocate for us, girl, because there's not enough of us. Yes. Not many of us. So every time I see us like thriving and doing amazing things, I feel like I need to be your biggest cheerleader because there's just not enough of us, you know. So yeah, we literally we met on Instagram. So this is our first time meeting, by the way, guys. This is our first time meeting, and we met on Instagram. Because we both had, you have, and I had like an online community that we had kind of created from when we started our course, which we'll speak about later on as well. And we would basically share tips, advice, share about our journeys. And I think the similarity between both of our platforms was that we were just trying to help the next designers, people that were aspiring designers, or just thought that maybe this is something that they want to explore,
or just trying to create content for people that look like you as well. It's nothing when you're trying to transition. There aren't that many people, I'm talking like Black young girls that you see as examples for like how to break into the tech industry. It's always like the nerdy guys with the glasses, like the Steve Jobs that will be doing TikTok content and Instagram content. And although the content is still relatable, it's just good to see it coming from someone that is like you as well. So it's good. I think I first came across you from the Love Circular alumni. I think you've done it before I did, didn't you?
I can't remember which number I was. I think 3.
Yeah, you definitely did, because mine was double digits. I think I was cohort 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nice. So even from that, it was good to see like people that have actually done the what's it called, the boot camp, and actually successfully transition. So like you should know, like the boot camp's not a scam. There are people actually getting jobs out here, that people that look like you as well.
Yeah, we're both proof, guys.
So that's how I came across you.
Oh, nice. Well, yes, it was lovely to meet her on Instagram, and I think from just like seeing her content and just seeing how amazing that she came across on social media, I just felt like I just needed to meet her in real life, and I needed her to be on the show. So again, thank you for being on this show. No worries. I appreciate it. So yeah, now that you said that you've moved house, I was gonna ask you a question, but maybe I'll tweak it a little bit, because the original question was, what are 3 things that you can't leave your house without? But now that you've moved house, I feel like I should tweak it a little bit and maybe ask, what has been your biggest lesson in this like season of your life?
That is a very Good question.
If it's a little too detailed, then we could go to the original question.
Which lesson should I even? Because I'm like lesson.
Okay, what's a lesson that you've learned in DIY at least?
In DIY,
yeah.
Over prepare.
Okay.
And attention to detail. Sometimes I'm a sort of person where, you know, when they give the little like tool, the little pamphlets or the little instructions, I look at the picture, think, okay, cool.
You can do it. Oh,
throw it away,
no.
do it. After 20 minutes, I'm looking for that same instruction pamphlet that I threw in the bin. Like, just make sure that your attention to detail is 10 out of 10, because if you don't do it good, you have to pay it for the same thing twice. So
that's
attention
true.
to detail, which is something that you should have as a UX designer, you'd think.
It's true.
Yeah, just over prepare and be very attentive.
That's a good answer. Yeah, because I feel like when I hear DIY, I just think, oh, can this be someone else's problem? Because I just feel like there's so many instructions, and then there's so many steps. There's always these tiny little screws, and they are so fiddly.
Even like the tools you use as well, I don't even know if I'm using it properly. It's
no.
stressful.
Okay, well, I hope all your DIY stuff ends up well.
So far
you've
so
got
good.
this, girl. Okay, cool. So the next question I've got for you is, if you could redesign any website or app, which one would it be and why? And before you answer, the answer cannot be Zara, because guys,
is that your typical answer?
When we started our boot camp, we had to do a case study during the boot camp. And when I tell you, there's about 1 million, maybe 1,000,001, and I'm probably even being like light with that number, case studies on Zara and how terrible their website are. Literally, and they don't care.
No,
Zara don't care.
They don't give a heck. People are still going to shop there.
Yeah.
They don't give a heck.
So you know that they know that their website is horrendous. But literally everyone and their mums would pick Zara's website because it's so terrible. But apart from Zara and apart from Pretty Little Thing, because Pretty Little Thing website,
I think I done a case study on.
Did you? You see? But if you could pick one today, which one would you choose and why? Like, what would you change about the website?
Ooh, that is such a hard question. It's throwing all these questions at me. I'm just trying to think of the apps or websites that I use personally. And none's coming.
Would you think of
mind.
like ASOS's website?
Do you know what? I'm not a big fan of ASOS's like user interface. I think it's a bit too clicky. Like, there's too many clicks for me. But I do understand that when there's brands that operate as like they have different brands within their brand, it's a bit hard to design a user interface that is cohesive. So things like places like Sports Direct that sell different brands, or ASOS, or even TK Maxx, you're gonna find sometimes it's not the best, like it's not the most user friendly, but as well you do need to understand that it's not easy to design a brand that is showcasing different brands, and each brand has their brand. So that would probably be my answer, actually. Those kind of brands that are solely focused on showcasing different brands. So ASOS would be a good example. It's quite messy, quite clicky.
And like you said, it's just kind of hard for them. They don't have many options to reduce that, because they have to house all the brands. So that's a good point. Well, thank you for your answer. The last question that I had for you is workplace pet peeves. You've been in the working world for a hot minute now, and I feel like you probably have been there long enough to kind of see what you like and don't like about the working world. So what have you seen that you do not like, that you literally, what is like in the interview process or in a JD, if you see this word or if you see this description, it's just going to put you off the job completely?
Straight away, 4 words: we are a family. From that point, I'm gone.
We are family.
From that, if I see, we are a family, I don't want to be part of your family.
Why is that though?
Do you know what? I usually find from past experiences that they're the most annoying companies. Like, they're very much, it's by force that you must go to the pub with them. It's by force that you must stay late with them. If it's 5 o'clock and Jimmy is still there at 5:05, you two have to be there at 5:05. It's very like clicky. If it's very one fits all. Like if you're not like them, you're not gonna get along with them. And I appreciate companies where it's like they embrace diversity. Like if someone's introverted, they will allow you to be introverted in peace. If someone's extroverted, that doesn't mean that the extroverted person is better than the introverted person. If I don't want to go to the, I don't know, pub drinks, I'm not a public enemy. Like I like companies that just allow you to be yourself, as long as you're interactive with your colleagues, like you're still positive, you're still engaging, but I just don't want to be best buddies with you and it's not an offense. Then that's the one.
That's such a good answer, because honestly, when they're doing the whole, oh, Abby, coming to the pub with us today, he's got a spare
and do you know what, I get it,
work.
sometimes it's good for social engagement. It's good to like, it's not every time you sit down with your CEO or sit down with someone from the accounts team or different people, and it's good to get your face out there as well. Especially when it's time for promotion. But it's not my fault.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's the issue though, is like you feel like they kind of take your choice away from you because they pressure you so much, make it such a big deal, or they'll say it's fine and then like let it be like 2 weeks later they'll like be like, oh, don't bother with her, you know, she doesn't usually come. It's like, you know, and then they start creating narratives. It's just like a downward spiral.
I don't like workplace politics.
So is that your only pet peeve, or do you have any other ones that you want to mention?
Do you know, I'm pretty easy in the workplace as long as there's a good work-life balance. I'm not too, like, I won't be too bothered. Like, there's good work-life balance. It's either hybrid or remote. I think a big one for me is my manager. I think your manager can make or break your career.
100%.
If you have a good manager that's not micromanaging or belittling or too nosy, just a good manager of sense, I'm literally I'm all right.
I totally agree. I feel like I've had so many conversations with friends who have literally left roles because of bad managers. Like a bad manager can send you out of an amazing role, but an amazing manager can keep you in a role that's not even necessarily great, but
100%,
because you respect that manager and you know how hard it is to find good managers. And I've been blessed in my career so far to have like the best managers. Like, I have no complaints. It makes a big difference, which is that's why I'm so scared to constantly move on, even though I believe in job hopping. If you want to get your money up, girl, you better job hop, because that's the quickest way to do it. But finding a good manager is so hard that I always get nervous to move, because I'm like, oh, am I going to find a good manager? It's not easy.
And with where I started as a UX designer, I was so blessed to have an amazing manager. And I said it in my leaving due, like when I was leaving, I just knew it would be very, very, very rare for me to find a team and a manager like that.
That makes sense. And I do agree. Having a good manager is so important. Okay, cool. So let's get started on your career journey. So I know that you've been in tech for a while, but we want to go back just a little bit further to before you came into the tech space, into the tech world. Before you became a designer, what were you up to? Like, what was your first working job?
So I graduated from uni with a psychology and counselling degree. And I remember after graduating, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew it had nothing to do with psychology. So I remember being in third year like, okay, I'm not going to do anything psychology related.
So you knew before you even graduated?
Absolutely, because it was just, I fell out of love with it during the course. So it got to the point where I'm just looking for transferable skills. And the good thing about psychology is there are a lot of transferable skills that you can leave with. So I was headhunted for a marketing role. And I remember that being my first role after uni, after graduating. And I had a love and hate relationship with that. Like, I hated the analytical side of it. I'm not a numbers person, but I loved the design side of it. Like, I loved the designing marketing campaigns, designing like email banners, designing leaflets and things like that. I knew I loved that side. And I knew after uni, I loved problem solving. But at that point, I didn't know anything to do with UX UI design. And then I remember sitting in the office thinking, I want to pick up a new skill this year. And I want it to be a tech skill. So I was looking into tech. And surprisingly, my first route wasn't actually UX UI design. I fell into coding, as most people do when they want to break into tech. So I remember joining a boot camp called, I think it's called Code First Girls. Don't know if you've heard of them.
I have.
So I done there front end development course, and I loved it. Like, I done it for a few months, 3 months, I think. Loved it, but it was just so difficult.
Really?
Like, I loved the problem solving aspect of it, but if you didn't solve a problem, like, I would go to bed dreaming of the code that I need to fix when I wake up.
Oh my
so
gosh.
It was just I found it so frustrating. It was good when it was good, but when it wasn't good, it was just too much for me mentally.
And was it always just like a comma somewhere?
It would be, sometimes
random?
you'd wake up with fresh eyes and you'd realise, oh, I forgot to put a comma there.
Yeah.
And it's just broken. Exactly. It's the most random things. But I just loved seeing what you could design. Like, I'll look back and be like, oh, I designed the web. And it'll be the plainest website. Yeah. But the code behind it will just be I'll find that so fascinating.
Yeah.
Making things like online alarms, online systems, just learning new languages. I found it so interesting. And again, I love the problem solving side of things. But when I realized it got to a point where the code was too much, picking up, especially with learning how to code, the learning never ever stopped. Within tech, the learning never stops, but it was always, okay, what language do I need to learn next? I tried to learn Python, and that one was the one that just broke everything. Like, I don't know if I can continue this journey from here. I was like, okay, this one's a bit difficult, this one's above me. And then I came across UX UI design. And I realized, okay, it still has that problem solving element, still has that design element, but I don't have to code. Like, I can just be the brains behind the design, but I don't have to be. I can just pass on the design to the
make it someone else's problem.
Exactly, you guys can deal with it, but I still get that fulfillment out of it. So then I obviously fell into it and came across Love Circular during the pandemic, which was bloody good timing. Yeah, because we were stuck indoors. There was nothing to do.
That's true.
It was literally like, any time I had to revise or study was then. It was the best time. Done it, smashed it, loved that course. Like, till this day, I owe Love Circular.
Honestly,
if they would have come and take time for my salary,
it was amazing.
I owed them, because it really showed me like there's more to tech. Yeah, and even the way they upskill you, teach you, the people that teach are really good, really patient. I remember the person I had, my instructor, he was so good, loved the feedback, and it really, outside of the tech schools I upskilled in, it really helped me with my personal skills. So before public speaking, I hated it.
Wow.
And I didn't actually realize that UX UI has so much public speaking, and I didn't know until the boot camp. So things like that, it helped with my public speaking as well.
Yeah. And look at you now on a whole podcast.
And then so done the boot camp, and after a few months of, obviously, you do your portfolio, your case studies, applied, and I transitioned into a UX UI designer. Essentially.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I love that, like, you started from psychology, because there's so much psychology in UX UI design, and I didn't even realize until I did the bootcamp that
a lot of psychology.
How much psychology is in there. So do you feel like when you were doing the bootcamp and you noticed how much psychology elements were in there, did that help you fall back in love with psychology?
Definitely. So, like, within UX UI, you have different theories, different principles, laws, you have color psychology. It's a lot about putting yourself in the shoes of the consumer, customer, resident, whoever you're designing for at the time. So that, again, that falls back in psychology, because psychology is the study of minds, like study of people. So the two, for me, it was like, it went hand in hand. It wasn't like I had to upskill in another skill. It was just kind of me falling back on what I already knew. So I found that really good at the time.
Oh wow, that's really good then. It was like the perfect love story.
Yeah, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's amazing. So before you even got to the point where, like, you knew that you wanted to be a UX UI designer, what was the moment where you thought to yourself, okay, I should try something new? Like, what ignited that flame, and also, why did you feel like this was something that you could do? Was there a list of different things, like different options? Because, you know, you could have been like in tech sales, you could have been in project management in tech, you could have been in different areas in tech. So was there like a eureka moment? Did you see a website design, or was there a moment where that sparked your initial chase for the career
That's UX UI design? So again, during lockdown, you have a lot of time. Well, I had a lot of time to think. and I knew the skills I had and the personality traits I had as well. So I feel like to be a good UI UX designer, or if you look at UX UI designers, a lot of us are overthinkers already. Yeah. Like I meet so many people, and that is when that trait comes in handy, because you have to overanalyze designs, overanalyze research. There's a lot more to UX UI than people anticipate. It's not just drawing rectangles and shit. There's a lot to it. So I realized being an overthinker was something that came in handy. I'm very critical over things.
Oh wow.
So I think that's where it came in handy. And like I mentioned before, I loved problem solving. Anything where it's like, okay, we have this problem and we need to reach B and we need to understand how we can solve it. That is pretty much what UX UI is. You can have a problem and you're looking at how we can creatively solve this problem.
Yeah.
And I loved being creative as well. So when I had my marketing role, I loved all the creative aspects of it, but hated all the analytical bits of it. So I think all of that in one kind of pushed me towards UX UI design.
Yeah.
It's like it ticked so many boxes. I was like, I can't not do this. So, and I've had previous like coding knowledge, HTML, CSS, and saw how it worked on the other side. So there was some familiarity there, and I just felt like it was just perfect timing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that I speak to, I don't know if you have the same experience as well, when they're like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a UX UI designer. They're like, oh, what? Like, they have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, I design apps and websites. And they're like, oh, so like you can build an app and website.
Yeah.
I design it. Yeah. I literally put the picture
that
together.
Reach out to you for freelancing. Oh, I've got this website I want to build.
Yeah.
And the first thing I say is, do you have a software developer? Because it's not me that's gonna code it for you.
Honestly.
Yeah. But even with the older generation, if I call my mum and ask her what I do now, she won't be able to tell you.
Girl.
So even like meeting people for the first time, I will introduce myself as a web designer, because sometimes I don't have time to explain to you.
I just say I design apps and websites.
Literally, because it's not new, but in terms of traditional careers, it's newer. So we're not talking to people. A lot of people are like, oh, what's that? And then you think of, okay, have you ever opened a website where it's hard to use, or you don't know how to use it, or blah blah? And like, okay, that's what UI designer is employed to do.
Yeah.
And then so it's just that. But yeah, introducing myself as a UX UI designer, it's just sometimes you can go down a rabbit hole of explaining to people.
Oh, trust me, I know, especially if they're not super young, or they don't really have like current knowledge. Because even when I was telling my neighbor that I got a job, I'm working in design, and means I work in tech and all these things, she was like, oh, so like if my computer breaks down, you can fix it. I said, I can come over and we can call somebody to fix it, but I cannot fix your computer for you. Like, how do we get from designing to
and that's why it needs exposure. Tools. Like my dad tells people I work in IT, and that's where the conversation stops. He's like, yeah, she works in IT. No,
not IT.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Not a lot of people know what the role is.
Oh my goodness. So that's really cool though, that like your journey included so much of UX UI elements and you literally had no idea.